Hey, what's up everyone? I hope you're having a lovely day. Today we take a closer look at CryptoBlades, one of the most popular blockchain-based play-to-earn games. The video has been sponsored by CryptoBlades, and after you're done watching it, you will know everything there is about the game, its features, and how to play it. So, without any further ado, let's dive in. CryptoBlades is a web-based NFT role-playing game that launched on the BNB Chain, formerly known as the Binance Smart Chain. It was developed by Riveted Games, and it brings forward plenty of mechanisms that set the tone for future developments and trends in the overall play-to-earn gaming sector. Although it originally started on BSC, the game has expanded beyond it to other networks to achieve transaction efficiency, improve the gameplay experience, and maximize players' earnings. At the time of this recording, the game is available on the following networks: the Heko Chain, the OEC Chain, BNB Chain, Polygon, Avalanche, and Aurora. For the sake of this guide, however, we will go through the gameplay using the BNB Chain. However, some of the other options, such as the Heko Chain and the OEC Chain, are most cost efficient and could increase your earnings. At the game's core is a reward system that allows you to earn skill tokens after defeating your enemies. With those earnings, players can acquire additional characters based on various elements, forge unique weapons as NFTs, reforge these weapons to increase their overall potential and power, trade on the marketplace, or withdraw your tokens completely. Data from the BSC scan shows us that there are over 360,000 holders of the native token of the game, Skill. However, given that the game supports 5 different networks, the number has expanded significantly to over 1 million active holders according to the official website. The gameplay basics. Because it's a web-based game, you don't need to download a native client, as you can play straight from your browser. Before we dive into the gameplay though, it's worth noting that we will be playing the game using the BNB chain for the sake of this guide. However, there are more efficient networks in terms of transaction costs, and you can potentially increase your earnings if you use these networks. The team has created a comprehensive video on how to connect your MetaMask wallet to the OEC network, for example, and the links will be in the description below. To dive into the CryptoBlades universe, you will need to install MetaMask, Coinbase wallet, or any other supported wallet. Once you have this done, you should set up the BNB chain and deposit some BNB. Once again, links on how to do this will be in the description below. Once you have this done, you need to go to the game's official website, hit the enter game button right here, and select the chain that you want to play on. Once again, we will be using the BNB chain. Now our wallet is already connected, and we have already purchased some characters, but more on that later. Once you have everything done, to get skill tokens, all you need to do is just hit the deposit button right here and use the ApeSwap interface. Don't worry, ApeSwap is a very well-known decentralized exchange on the BNB chain, and it's safe to use. Now let's talk about the characters. One of the first things you notice is that we are on this screen here. It's called the Plaza. This is where you can keep your active characters. As you can see, there is a limit of 4 active characters that you can keep. However, you can have unlimited characters in the garrison. We currently have 0, and the way you do this is, the way you send characters to the garrison is by clicking these 3 dots here and hitting this button, Send to Garrison. We already minted characters, so we're not going to mint anymore, but if you want to, you can recruit them here from this button, and all you need to do is just confirm the transaction in your MetaMask wallet. Now we need to talk about the elements and the stats of the game, because these are very important for the overall gameplay and how you will strategize and find your opponents. As you can see, both our characters have different elements here. This one is earth and this one is lightning. There are 4 elements in total which are present in the game: fire, earth, lightning, and water. All characters, weapons, and enemies are assigned an element. These can increase or decrease your chances of success in battle. This is why you need to know that there are certain intricacies when talking about elements. For example, fire is strong against earth, but it's weak against water. Earth is strong against lightning, but it's weak to fire. Lightning trumps water, but is weak to earth, and water trumps fire, but is weak to lightning. Therefore, our earth character, who is called Jano Lemispri, by the way, will be strong against lightning and will be weak against fire enemies. Now you can also see that there are certain stats here. This is what your character's level, his name, ID, your current score, and power. Now power, as you can see right now, we have 1000 power. This is the current level, but you can increase or decrease this using bonus power, which is capped. In our case, it's capped at 3 times our base power. There are different ways to increase your power by equipping, for example, weapons and so forth. You will also notice the character's stamina. It's a vital stat to consider. It regenerates by 1 every 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes you get 1 stamina back. Your starting stamina will always be 200, and you can use your stamina in battles. Okay, now that you know how to create your character, and hopefully you have already created one, we're going to talk about weapons, because after all, we will be fighting monsters and potentially other players as well. Weapons are amongst the most important NFTs in the game. Yes, they are NFTs, so you can transfer them through the marketplace, but more on that later. You can hold an unlimited number of weapons, but there is a price associated with forging them. As you can see here, all of them are found in the blacksmith, and here you can see the price for forging one weapon is 0.05 roughly skill tokens, and 10 weapons cost 10 times as much. We've already minted 10 weapons, and we were fortunate enough to mint a 5-star sword, which is called the Unholy Sculptor. It's a water element sword, and it gives us 335 and 84 bonus power. Each weapon has its own element that you can see right here. It increases its strength versus weaker element opponents and vice versa. You can combine weapons that match your character based on their own element to increase your odds of winning in combat. As we mentioned right now, we minted one 5-star sword. So as you can see, each weapon has different number of stars ranging from 1 to 5. We were pretty lucky with this one. The odds of getting a 5-star weapon are about 1%. 1 star comes with 44% odds, 2 stars with 35%, 3 stars with 15, 4 stars with 5, and 5 stars again with 1% odds. During certain events, you will also be able to forge a special weapon. However, right now there is no ongoing event, so we're unable to show you this particular feature. These are unique weapons though, and they have an exclusive design, special abilities in player versus player or PvP action to reroll an opponent, and they also give an option for a higher quality weapon. Earth and Hope, which was celebrating Earth Day, could be forged either by spending skill or shards. This is just an example for one more special weapon, so to speak. You can also reforge your weapons using dust. To obtain dust, you can burn weapons instead. In any case, reforging your weapons is also going to buff them and add more power to your current weapons. Beyond weapons, you can also obtain equipment such as shields, trinkets, and armor. Now that we know how to forge and hopefully have already forged some weapons, let's see how the combat mechanic works in CryptoBlades. It's pretty cool. As soon as you hit this button here, you're going to be taken to this particular dashboard, and the first thing you need to know is that the combat mechanic is powered by a formula that you can verify in the game's documentation. As you can see, there's all the necessary information about your opponents. In addition, you will see a guide to the elements on the top right here, knowing which element is weak and strong against which. So in our case, we have selected our Flisp Osrisp character. He's lightning based, and we have also equipped our malicious katana, which is a 3-star earth-based weapon. From here you can also see your enemies and different stats about them. The game points you towards battles that you are likely or slightly less likely to win. For example, this one is a very likely victory, whereas this one is only a possible victory, so the odds of winning it would be slightly lower. However, you can also see that the experience you get from winning the battle is higher, the lower your odds are, and so is the skill reward. You can also choose how much stamina you want to use for each match. You can consider this the risk factor of the match. So the more stamina you select, the higher your rewards are be, but also you would have to wait a longer period of time for the stamina to replenish. As we said, you get 1 stamina every 5 minutes. So we're gonna use 40 stamina for this battle, and we're going to use our malicious katana sword, and we're going to fight this guy right here. Winning it would give us 29 experience and this number of skill tokens. So all you need to do is hit on the character and then sign the transaction. Give it a couple of seconds and you are going to get the results. As we explained before, these results are based on a formula that you can check in the game's official documentation. Now, there you go. We unfortunately lost this fight. So we rolled like 1594, whereas the enemy rolled 1652. This is the amount of gas fees that we spent on this battle, and unfortunately we were unable to win the game. However, you will have more opportunities. As you can see right here, we only lost 40 stamina, so we have 4 more tries to get it. Once again, if you use another chain, which is more cost efficient than the BNB chain, you can optimize your earnings and lower your cost. Now, if you are more of a PvP type of player, you can select the PvP mode right here. There are a few things that you need to know about the arena. First, this is the entrance to the PvP mode in CryptoBlades, and it will cost you 3.99 skill to enter it. While in the arena, you can be attacked and you can also attack. Leaving the arena will also cost you 0.9975 skill. These wagers are going to vary based on the chain you use and could be lower than those displayed here. You can choose which characters you want to use and equip them with weapons and shields. Since we already have one of our characters in the arena, we're going to show you how to do it with the other one. So we've selected Flisp here, and we're going to equip a nice sword that gives us additional strength. We don't have a shield, unfortunately, so you just click that you understand the above requirements, and then you enter the arena. You're going to have to sign the transaction again. Give it a couple of seconds and it should be confirmed any moment. There you go. First transaction was permitting the platform to spend our skill, and now we actually have to spend it. So we confirm it once again. It's important to know that while you are in the arena, you're going to get ranking points and skill rewards whenever you win a battle or successfully defend against an attack. You will be matched with opponents randomly, Another thing to consider is that the arena does not require any stamina, so you can get into as many battles as you want to. The arena itself is also divided in tiers. So for example, there is the first tier, which includes characters from level 1 through 10. The second one is from level 11 to 12 to 20, and so forth. This means that you will be facing enemies that are more or less similar to your current level, but matches against higher level players might be tougher to win, of course. However, they will also grant you more ranking points, which give you a better chance of winning the end of season rewards and to climb the leaderboards. Once you are in the arena, you can hit this button here, and you will randomly be matched with an opponent. As soon as you hit the find match button, you just have to assign the transaction. Once again, give it a couple of seconds and we will get an opponent. So our opponent is called Oker Kalir, and he's also level 1. He doesn't have any ranking points. He's using pretty similar weapon to ours, so we can choose whether or not to fight this guy or to reroll. Rerolling will cost us 0.33 skill. So right now we don't feel like dueling, so we're just gonna leave it here, but the mechanics are pretty much the same as they are when you're combating against an NPC, a monster, as we showed you a couple of minutes ago. Leaving the arena is another transaction, so you just need to sign it. And then we will take a look at the raid and the quest functionalities of the game, because they are also pretty cool. Now, raids, if you have ever played an MMO before, you should know that raiding is always a group activity. And it's pretty much the same here in CryptoBlades. You will be teaming up with other players to fight various bosses and to get different rewards. The raiding periods are always going to be different, and so are the bosses. The higher your level is, the more challenging the bosses will be. Fortunately, you fight with the combined power of everyone in the raid. Once the attack is complete and you emerge victorious, you will also get your loot. You can choose your weapons that provide various multipliers and increase the strength of your characters, but keep in mind that raiding requires 200 stamina to enter, so you will have to wait after you leave the raid to replenish your stamina. The next exciting functionality of CryptoBlades is questing. You can find it here. So quests are another way to improve and progress with your character, with all of your characters. As you can see on our screen, however, if your character is currently in the arena, which one of ours is, that's why we wanted to show you this, you will not be able to participate in any quests. So in return for completing these quests, you will gain reputation points that increase your tier experience and give you different items. You can request quests and then determine whether or not you want to complete them. In this current case, we have to submit 280 stamina, you can see it right here, to complete these quests, and in return we are going to receive a weapon plus 12 reputation. However, we won't be able to complete this quest immediately because our character only has 200 stamina. So we will need to sort of deposit our 200 stamina and then wait for a few hours to get 80 more in order to be able to complete this particular quest. Now, the next exciting feature about CryptoBlades is that pretty much everything in the game is an NFT, right? So you can trade it. And we mentioned it earlier, the way trading works is through the bazaar, or this is the marketplace of CryptoBlades. You will have to connect your wallet once you're here, and from here you will be able to find different weapons, different shields, armor, trinkets, and whatnot. As you can see, 5-star weapons currently go for like 12 skill tokens, 5 skill tokens. It depends on the weapon, of course, and whether or not it's good for your character. So yeah, this is where you can buy and sell different items, which is pretty cool because it expands the NFT functionality of the game. And yeah, you can even purchase characters. Now, it's also important to note that in October 2021, the team introduced the CryptoBlades Kingdoms or CBK expansion. It's a realm that contains a total of 6,250,000 claimable territory locations, and each claimable territory can have a village or a dungeon, or of course it can be empty. The villages contain 3 primary resources: stone, clay, and wood. These can be used to construct buildings and also to recruit troops. Land can be acquired using Kink from the bazaar. CBK also introduced another token, the Kink in question, which has a supply of 1 billion and it's fixed. The token powers the CBK ecosystem, and some of the things that you can do with it include, but of course not limited to create a village, to claim a new village, to send an attack or to request support, to nickname your wallet, and so forth. It's worth noting that you only use Kink to acquire gold, and from there almost everything happens off-chain and is purchasable with gold, making the game a lot quicker because you won't have to constantly sign transactions. Now, we have also described the skill tokenomics in our written version of the guide. You can check this in the description below. In conclusion, CryptoBlades is a leading title in the blockchain P2E ecosystem, and it's perhaps very easy to see why now that you have seen how to play the game. The game design itself follows a very easy to understand logic that is critical for play-to-earn projects in general. In addition, it's based on a familiar rolling model, which makes it very easy for users to grasp and to understand. As you saw, there is literally nothing complicated within the game itself. Of course, suppose you're expecting a traditional gaming experience with Unreal Engine graphics. In that case, this is probably not the game for you, but neither is the entire play-to-earn segment of the cryptocurrency industry right now. CryptoBlades itself is built to make completing various tasks very easy, while the PvP action itself is somewhat addicting, especially when you start stacking those skill tokens in the bank. While a few cents might not seem like a lot, you can have multiple characters. You can rotate between some of them being in the garrison, some of them being active. So it can add up pretty quickly, especially if skill prices start increasing in the future. Even though the rewards from each battle are not significant, you can see how using a more gas efficient blockchain such as the OAC, for example, can increase profitability. So once again, scaling this up across various accounts in multiple characters can make it possible to generate some sort of income. The requirements to start playing the game on the BNB chain may be a bit steeper, but again, users are free to choose a more efficient network. I can speak for myself and say that my experience with CryptoBlades has been somewhat satisfying. I didn't expect it, but the attention to detail, the lore itself, the game poses a very interesting atmosphere, and it's easy to see why it has garnered so much potential over the past year. You can check the game at cryptoblades.io or cryptobladeskingdoms.io. We hope you guys enjoyed our review, and we'll see you in the next one.